Hey guys, back with another Maplestory video here. This time, first will clear, post ignore enemy defense update. And this one is going to be a little bit telling. This is my pre-patch PR. So 192, we were clearing about 14. I think our fastest run was actually 1422, but this is my best 192. And I was about 3.5% ignore enemy defense. And here I want you to see kind of the max lines here and the min lines, but 51.81 and 28.87 is what I was hitting, min and max lines. And that is going to be the biggest differentiator between pre and post patch. So that is what I'm going to be looking out for here. Here are the stats currently. And this is with buff duration hyper, so my cap is actually higher, but about 37.16 ignore enemy defense here in this run. And one of the things that we were most worried about going into it was that we were going to burst too hard too quickly. And you'll kind of see here, we'll kind of skip ahead here, but one of the things we're worried about was that we were going to hit this first check mark in this blue room too fast and not leave enough people time to fill their gauge from moving from purple to blue. So unfortunately, I was in the blue room here. Since I'm pretty easy, it's pretty easy for me to fill the gauge. And so like I was worried that my burst here, so we stun, burst, like we're just crushing that, right? And like I probably made a mistake there. Like I kind of hit into the zeros there, and like we have quite a bit of people that are still waiting to be in the other room. And that was probably my fault, to be honest. I should have figured out my burst cooldown rotation better there. But everyone got into the room here, split. And we're going to get to this check mark at 10-second mark. So I didn't even get full value of the burst. Positioning is not great here. Could have been better overall by the team and me, but we got there. I mean, this is our biggest obstacle before. We were pre-patch hitting it to 58 the last split second, and this time we're getting there 12 seconds early, right when our stun, right when our defense smash 4 came back up. So missed a lot of DPS there with this team, but I mean, still cranking. So we're going to get through this test, no problem. Get back in. Stay in the middle here. And watch out for those. Yikes. And then start in purple. So later this week, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a guide to help you guys out. Work on it phase through phase, because phase 1 is much different than phase 2 and phase 3. So there are different mechanics overall. So just try to break it up and not create such a long video for you guys to make it as concise as possible. But right there, burst came back up. Switch to the other room with the eye. Waiting for defense smash 4 here. And it kind of worked out very nicely. I should have, like here I used my V3 burst and I didn't get full duration, full damage with it. I'm hitting zeros for like half that. That was unfortunate. Misplay by me. I think my biggest learning point here was that I shouldn't wait for defense smash 4 or worry about pairing it. I don't think defense smash 4 is as impactful as obviously getting full value out of the line. So maybe something I'll focus on next time here. And again, we just crushed it here. I had 15 seconds back on my Echo, Divine Echo, defense smash 4 just came back up and we're just waiting. So team is clearly hitting the DPS check marks very early, doing a ton of damage. But this is something that we wanted to just see. We had a few people that were 30% ignoring enemy defense, but I think most people were probably in the 20s, if that. So it was just, we just wanted to kind of see the gauge here and how much DPS we could really put out with the new rebalance. So watch out for those. Yeah, geez, that was pretty sweaty, pretty sketchy right there. Split up. Yeah, we are just crushing here. Tornado. Burst. Synchro. So here I decided to wait to use my V3 burst until this next room. Kind of lined up nicely there with defense smash 4. Waiting for it to respawn and then use my burst here. So kind of griefed the people there. Oopsie. But yeah, I mean, that's just, we're just pushing even more time and getting through my, like, this is just a lot of, unfortunately, kind of just the way the team comp is and how much DPS we're doing, just a lot of waiting, hitting a lot of check marks. And if you notice, there's no way that we can do this any faster. We have to wait for the screen crack at 58 and the test that follows. So even if we're obviously waiting 20 seconds here, phase 1, there's no, it's going to take the same amount of time no matter if we clear, no matter how much DPS we have. It's always going to be 6 minutes long, essentially, no matter what. Phase 2, however, we can get there pretty much a little bit quicker. So I think here, Synchro, stun, moon gauge, heal up. And this is where, unfortunately for me, with my V3 taking so long in the phase 1 to get back up, I unfortunately heal up. Like, yeah, look, just insane. We got through that extremely fast. Now we got the test here. So many clones. Yikes. So definitely not the smoothest test here. But you see, we're kind of, even phase 2, it's really hard to, I mean, maybe we could do a little bit faster, but it's not by much, right? Just kind of the way that the boss is set up here. I don't know, my defense smash 4 procced. That was probably me. But yeah, we're going to get through here with, I'm not going to get my V3 here off in this time window. So unfortunately here, I miss a cycle of my burst. It is what it is. Probably could play a little bit better. Understanding that this team is going to crank and kind of have to use burst ASAP. Like right here, Synchro came back up. And we're just killing it so fast that we really don't have much time to even get through. Like, yeah, I'm not going to get through my V3 here at all. So at the top of the charts here is Mila Rings, Night Lord, Ed in second place. Yeah, like right there. Literally got to the end of the test with my V3 coming right back up. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. Truffle Locked X or E Ed at the top on the Nightwalker. think he has around 30% ignoring me defense. Mila Rings at second. Think she has around 30, mid 30s% ignoring me defense, and I'm third. Truffleox is just 7 set and mythic secondary, so he's probably about 17, 18%. And then I think Knuckle Ed Split Mule is around, I don't even know what he's at, 30%. So you can kind of see the difference here. Ignoring me defense does play a huge part, even though I have probably 10 mil less cap, not 8, maybe like 8 mil less cap than them. But just the nature of how impactful, how overpowered this one skill is. And you'll kind of see at the end when I break it down how the line counts, or the per lines. You can kind of see it here, but per lines, it's just significantly larger. So I don't know why my DS4 doesn't proc like right away. But yeah, look, it's hitting like 63 mils here. And I'm waiting for Echo to come back up right here. But Split came off right as I finished. So unfortunate. Didn't get to use Split here with all my big bursts. Only hitting 49 mils versus 63. But it is what it is. Kind of just the nature of the fight here. Probably have to adjust slightly my burst rotation. Try something new next time. But yeah, we are just cranking. This first, was it 30, 45 seconds? Here, burst up. And you can see those are 49 mil lines, but it's actually, those are my clone lines, my Divine Echo lines. So those are actually 90% damage, I think. I'm pretty sure. Kind of get stuck in a bad spot here. Blink over. Disoriented. Don't know what I'm doing there. But you can see those two at the top are doing insane damage there. Dwarfing me by 150, 200 bill damage. Kind of just in that last minute of DPS. So pretty insane to see. But still, I'm able to kind of hold a comfortable lead in DPS for the people that have lower ignore enemy defense, even with higher cap. Only cleared one web there. That was kind of strange, but yeah, pretty straightforward. I mean, you can see that we, as a team, like right here, I'm getting aggro without Divine Echo. A little bit weird, but this is one of our biggest worries, was that aggro was going to jump all over the place. Look, our 6th place person, 4th place person getting aggro here, all over. Aggro dies, top DPS die, kind of just gets all kinds, right, of clutter and I guess variance that makes it a little bit more challenging, right? Aggro, if anyone's done well, or any boss in general, when aggro jumps around, positioning, the way that the boss faces can just have such a big impact on DPS and, mechanics and things like that. So the smoother aggro is, like you see, I'm here, aggro here, trying to move to the right side, position accordingly. I'm trying to use my moon gauge here just to make sure if in case I get knocked back. Aggro still, I don't know what I'm doing. Gotta move back. I'm not paying attention here. So I got a little flustered, and I'm kind of griefing the team here, I think. There, I'll move back. I just realized it. Hello. So I was aggro for quite a bit of time there. Kind of interesting. I didn't really notice this while I was running, but watching it back here, I just lost it there again. So aggro is such a interesting dynamic. Even the top DPS, the bigger burst classes can pull aggro and hold aggro for quite a long time, even though they're, I was 3rd there, but we just crushed it here. Insane. 210. And so, what was that? About 20, almost 20 bill DPM more. So about 10%, right? 10, 11%. not bad. I think I can do more though, for sure. I feel like I can do more. And you can see here, Truffle Locks E, Mirror Rings, they're all crushing here as well. They kind of lapped me, but I was able to stay ahead of kind of the Shade and Ice Lightning Mage. They just weren't able to catch up with the time of the fight. Kind of worked out nicely for the way my damage is set up. Like if it was another 10 seconds, Primo would have caught me for sure, and probably Truffle Locks X as well. But we'll kind of break down here just in a little bit what it means, what all my DPS means. So this is my previous run, right? 192, kind of nice peaks, consistent peaks. At the top obviously was here, but this is as consistent as it gets. And I think the reason for that was because we were taking the entire time, right? We were being, like I said, we were kind of taking it to the last second to hit those check marks. And here you can see it's significantly different. So, sorry, I kind of messed this up. But so this is like 273, over 300 here. Kind of consistently 273 as the minimum for my previous will run, right? This was, and here I'm doing even less here, which is kind of crazy to think, right? Like right here, I didn't even get my V3 up. This is what that shows. So for me thinking this, I know I have room to grow. Like just if our team wasn't so strong, to be honest, like if we had 15 seconds here more, and I think it ended up being 20 seconds here more, and we just had 10 seconds here more, and then 20, 30 seconds here more, my DPS would be all the way up here, right? If this was so it's just interesting to see that even though I did 20 bill more, I feel like I can hit peaks high like this, right? Like this is saying 3 low 300s. Why can't this should be 3 low 300s as well? Low 300s. This should be up here too. So I could get 4, maybe like 100, let's say 50, 100, 200, another 200 bill easily, in my opinion, if our team just wasn't so OP and we were hitting those check marks so fast and just waiting for phase 1 to finish. And so here is where the damage is done, right? 51.81 mil, I showed that prior, 28.87. 63.84, 39.56. Absolutely huge difference. And so even more so, this is misleading because this is shade split lines, right? So this is not 100% of the time. But if we can take a look at the average lines, which is probably just as impactful or kind of telling on the DPS, 22 mil, 38 mil, 38 mil, pretty standard, 20 and 38, right? And here, 29. So it's not really blast, but this is 10 mil more, 10 mil more, 10 mil more, 10 mil more, right? Which is just insane. 10 mil more per line for 13,000 lines, right? 13,000 lines. This is where the big difference is. And like I was talking about in the previous run, this was only 13,000 lines, 6 uses. If I could get 19,000 lines at 48 mil, right? 2 extra uses. I mean, this number is going to be insane, right? Just doing the quick math, that's probably like 2/3. I don't even know. 3/4. Yeah, so this could be 2 more times, about 5,000 more lines. Yeah, this number could be 900 easily, right? Probably, yeah. So just interesting to see. There's a lot more room to grow, in my opinion, if the team wasn't so OP. So this is kind of just how I break it down and compare it to other, because I watch a lot of runs as well, and people doing insane amounts of damage. I saw a DB do probably like 3.8 trillion in 1 minute more longer fight. So it's not just that, but it's also how long their phase 1 and phase 2s are, allowing them for more uptime. So that's just a breakdown. Me nerding out and trying to see how I can improve. I could have played better, done a few things differently to get more of my burst cycles out. But first run, 20 bill more damage, we'll take it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join the Discord community. The Echo Clan community is growing, the best community in the game right now. And if you want to take your gameplay to the next level, improve your gameplay, do more damage, do more DPS, you definitely want to subscribe. The first 7 days are free and you're going to get full access to everything in the channel. So you definitely want to check that out. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time.